Welcome to my views and news. Tuesday's first video. Firstly, some news stories from Somalia, where Prime Minister Hamza Bare is expected to visit Puntland this week. Puntland is not on very friendly terms with the Mogadishu federal government. Puntland President Dini contested presidential election against Hassan Sheikh, Somalia's president, but he lost. And secondly, a few days ago, Puntland did not allow Deputy Speaker of Somalia's parliament to land at Bosaso airport of Puntland and distribute humanitarian aid. Gunfire erupted at Bosaso airport. Several were killed. How is Hamza Bare going to be received in Puntland? Secondly, US airstrikes on Somalia's territories are underway. Latest airstrikes happened on Sunday. Thirdly, a Mogadishu police commander who was fired from his position last year by Farmajo government has been reinstated. Reportedly, Hassan Sheikh has restored the benefits of this commander. Secondly, Ethiopia's Safaricom is a telecom company based in Kenya which bought shares in Ethio Telecom a few months ago. The company is due to start its services in Ethiopia in coming days. Before that, we are seeing a social media campaign against Safaricom that in its hiring process, it is neglecting Oromos. And today a meeting was held between Safaricom and Ethiopian Oromo social media activists who have been launching a campaign for the boycott of Safaricom. Thirdly, a new story about a Fano commander who spoke about Raya and Wolkait. He said that if Raya Wolkait are given to TPLF, Fano, special forces, militias will not agree. Raya is already under Tigray control. Who is this Fano commander? Why is he allowed to speak freely while other Fano commanders are on the run? And lastly, two news stories about Eritrea. Firstly, on the 20th of August in Germany, Eritrean Diaspora Festival is due to be held, and a campaign by Eritrean opposition groups is underway to stop this program. Which channels are being adopted by opposition parties, opposition groups to stop this program? We have details for you. We know that similar things happened in Stockholm and the Netherlands a few days ago. In the Netherlands, Eritrean festival was stopped after legal battle. And lastly, a viewer shared some information about Awel Seid's brother, Eritrean poet and playwright who is visiting Europe these days, attending diaspora festivals. He attended the one held in Stockholm, Sweden. The viewer said, Sajid, why aren't you speaking on this important thing? I'll speak on it. Firstly, Somalia viewers. PM Hamza Bare is going to visit Puntland this week. Puntland and Mogadishu are not on very friendly terms. Dini, president of Puntland, contested presidential election in May this year, but he lost. Hassan Sheikh was elected as the president of Somalia. Then after that, when Hassan Sheikh was abroad, Speaker was abroad as well. Deputy Speaker Sadia tried to land at an airport in Puntland, Bosaso airport. She was carrying humanitarian aid. Her plane landed at the airport, then gunfire erupted between loyalists of the federal government and Puntland government. Several were killed in that deadly escalation, and Sadia had to return without distributing any aid. So Puntland Mogadishu relations not very friendly, and Dini has visited Addis Ababa reportedly, where he held meetings with some intelligence officials, military officials too. It is being said that Puntland Addis Ababa alliance is becoming stronger. Puntland Mogadishu alliance is becoming weaker. Hamza Bare is going to visit Puntland this week. Not officially announced, but Some sources say that he will visit Puntland. When Hamza Abdi Bare was chosen as the Prime Minister of Somalia by Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, it was seen as a blow to Puntland, because reportedly Puntland wanted the new Prime Minister to be from Puntland. But Hamza Abdi Bare was chosen by Hassan Sheikh. Hamza Abdi Bare is from Jubaland. Let's see how is Hamza Abdi Bare going to be received in Puntland. It's going to determine the future of relations between Puntland and Mogadishu. We'll update in coming videos about Hamza Abdi's visit to Puntland. Secondly, US airstrikes against Al-Shabaab continue in Somalia. On Sunday, airstrikes were conducted in Hiran region, which shares border with Ethiopia as well. The region is in Hirshabelle, federal member state. Here, according to state media, 13 Al-Shabaab fighters were killed, and in recent days we have seen heavy battles between government forces and Al-Shabaab fighters in different areas of Hiran region. US is involved in this war now since Hassan Sheikh came to office. US was involved in the past as well, but this is new entry of US forces. Mainly US is conducting airstrikes, though US generals were seen in Hiran a few weeks ago. Will US launch a ground operation as well against Al-Shabaab? That remains to be seen. But these airstrikes against Al-Shabaab have been continuing for years. But drone strikes, airstrikes could not weaken Al-Shabaab. So drone strikes need to be augmented by ground offensives. Otherwise, Al-Shabaab will not be weakened. Thirdly, Sadiq John, former Mogadishu police chief, his benefits have been restored by Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud government. Last year, when Farmajo got 2-year extension at the lower house of Somalia's parliament, opposition and government groups came face to face in Mogadishu. Militias loyal to both parties confronted each other in Mogadishu, and there was fear of civil war. Back then, Sadiq John, Mogadishu police chief, opposed Farmajo's extension, 2-year extension, which was later revoked by the lower house of the parliament, and then election was held. Sadiq John was fired by Abdullah Farmajo, former president of Somalia, but now Hassan Sheikh is in power, and reportedly yesterday he restored the benefits of Sadiq John. I think Sadiq John contested election as well after he was fired, so it means that his benefits have been restored. Secondly, was Safaricom, Kenya-based telecom company against which we are seeing a social media campaign in Ethiopia today held a key meeting. Safaricom is Kenya-based company. It bought shares in Ethio Telecom a few months ago, a joint venture with Vodafone of South Africa, Sumitomo of Japan. And this company in joint venture is going to start its telecom services in Ethiopia in coming days. In Dire Dawa, it's going to launch its operations, and hiring is underway, hiring of staff. But this hiring has led to controversy. Oromo activists claim that Oromo ethnic group members are being neglected, Amharas are being preferred. That is why we have been seeing a social media campaign for the boycott of Safaricom in Oromia region of Ethiopia. We heard similar voices from the Somali region as well. Today a meeting was held between Safaricom officials and the social media activists who have been involved in this social media campaign. And after that, Safaricom issued a statement. Safaricom says that it held a meeting with representatives of social media campaign and it listened to their concerns. The company respects all Ethiopians without any bias. It respects all languages, all cultures, and it is not biased towards any group in Ethiopia. It's a very professional way of handling a conflict. That Safaricom met with these social media activists who have been involved in this campaign. That is how conflicts are resolved. If you want to resolve conflicts, if you don't want to resolve conflicts, then you don't sit and conflicts go on. So I would appreciate the Safaricom. It's a company, and businessmen, companies cannot afford such conflicts. Good thing that meeting has been held. Thirdly, there is a news story about a Fano commander, Mere Vedajo, who is East Amhara Fano commander. Is he pro-government? Is he in alliance with Ethiopian National Defense Force? Or is he operating independently like Fano factions of Gajam? It's not clear. But Mere Vedajo has been seen with Ethiopian National Defense Force officers. His fighters have been seen with them. With ENDF officials. It is said that he is working in collaboration with Ethiopian National Defense Force. So that is why he is allowed to speak, he is allowed to recruit, he is allowed to train Fano fighters. And East Amhara Fano fighters are fighting, they are deployed to some front lines as well. He spoke a few hours ago. He said if one Mere Vedajo is killed, thousands other will be born. TPLF is suffering the consequences of its actions. It killed thousands, now it is suffering the consequences. And thirdly, he talked about Wolkait and Raya. He said that people of Wolkait and Raya will not be enslaved again. If government, he said government will not negotiate on Raya and Wolkait. But if government decided to give Raya and Wolkait to TPLF, Fano, special forces and militias will resist, they will not agree. Raya is already under Tigray control. Much of the contested areas by Amhara region, contested territory, it is under Tigray control. So there is no question of Raya being given back to Tigray. Question is about Wolkait. Will it be given back to Tigray or not? Will there be talks about Wolkait, Sagade, Humera or not? Both sides have very rigid positions and we are hearing from Fano as well. So that is why there are still lots of stumbling blocks in the talks. If talks started, the start of talks has become so controversial that we wonder what will happen after the start of talks, because the talks will address some very thorny issues like Wolkait, maybe Raya as well. But their start is becoming difficult. And what will happen at the talks, that remains to be seen. Mere Vedajo is in alliance with Ethiopian government forces because Masrisha, Masafint, Gajam base commanders, Zamine Kasi, Gajam Gondar, especially Gajam base commanders, Masrisha and Zamine Kasi, they have not been seen operating freely. They are on the run. Thousands of their fighters have been arrested. On the other hand, East Amhara Fano is conducting recruitments, sending its fighters to front lines. It means that it is working in alliance with Ethiopian National Defense Force. Lastly, two news stories from Eritrea for you. Firstly, on the 20th of August in Germany, Eritrean Diaspora Festival is due to be held. And a campaign is underway, as was expected, to stop this festival. We saw similar campaigns in Stockholm, Sweden, and in the Netherlands. In Stockholm, Sweden, the campaign forced change of venue, but festival was held. In the Netherlands, festival was cancelled after legal battle. Eritrean opposition groups are trying to stop the upcoming festival in Germany as well. This time they have adopted the mode of a petition. A petition is being signed by Eritreans in Germany. Petition with 2,000 signatures will be sent to some authorities in Gisha, where this festival is due to be held. And the petition states that this festival is not a cultural festival, it's a fundraising activity. Funds will be raised by pro-government Eritrean diaspora community. Some are under duress to contribute, and the funds will be used by Eritrean government for their military activities, for their military campaigns abroad. It is being claimed in this petition. And petition is receiving signatures so far, 2,000. After it reaches 2,000 signatures, it will be submitted to firstly Gishner Regularity Office, secondly Mayor Office, thirdly State Government, fourthly local magistrate, fifthly to the venue administration where festival will be held. So after this petition is sent to these authorities, we'll see what these authorities do. Will they seek some guarantees from the organizers of the festival? Will they stop the festival altogether? Or will they reject this petition? That remains to be seen. But Eritrean opposition groups have become once again active in Germany to stop this upcoming festival. Bright Future movement, Eritrean opposition movement, played a key role in stopping the movement, Bright Future movement, and Eritrean Human Rights Foundation, a law firm. They played a role in stopping the festival which was due to be held in the Netherlands. We'll keep you updated about what is going to happen regarding the organized festival in Germany on the 20th of August. Lastly, a viewer said, Sajid, you are not speaking about Awel Seid's brother. He is in prison for years. Awel Seid is a champion of Eritrean military, Eritrean patriotism. Why isn't he speaking for his brother? I am not speaking on it because I have no credible information. The viewer says Kemal Said is Awel Seid's half-brother in prison for no reason in Eritrea. But Awel Seid does not have the guts to speak for the release of his half-brother. I don't have any such information. It's difficult to get information from Eritrea, who is in prison, who is out of prison. But if he is in prison, then and for no reason, he should be released. And how can Awel Seid speak for the release of his brother in Eritrea? We know what is happening there. No one can speak for the release of prisoners there.